Hi, it's Bailey from Glowforge.
And Nick from Glowforge.
And we are here with another Glowforge printing show for you today. We have been racking our brains for all sorts of interesting materials to dive into.
Yeah.
And this week we landed on felt.
We don't do an awful lot with textiles, just in general. And felt is a good one. I feel like it's kind of like a sits somewhere between sort of a craft material, like a cardboard or something, and then like a real fabric.
It's just blending into the background here, just disappearing.
It's super easy to use, available in tons of different colors. We have some synthetic felt here, which is actually a laser-safe product that we found on Amazon. It's mostly made of plastic materials. You can also use natural felt made from hair and fibers like that. Fair warning, the natural felt smells terrible when you cut it.
Yes.
Literally like burning hair, as you might imagine. But that smell does fade over time.
So yeah, to be clear, it's usually safe to work with natural felts because we tell you all the time with Glowforge, when you're not using proof grade materials, stick to natural materials. And so if you're going with fabrics, you want, 100% cotton, not, denim that has a bunch of stretch in it or something because it burns. But with felt, the natural version does smell. It's safe, but it'll smell.
Yeah.
So this though is a specific laser safe felt that we bought on like Amazon or something.
Yeah, I think that's where it was. Yeah.
So
and it's fine. It's great for craft purposes. And this is a little test cut that we did before.
See this up close.
The downside to this, I would say, is because it's a plastic material, it melts the edges, so it's not particularly nice to touch. It feels a little kind of crusty,
stiff,
if you like. And that probably, to be fair, probably does wear away over time if this was something that was being handled. I don't know because I've not tested it exclusively, but a natural product wouldn't have that. It would have a brown edge from the charring, which would wear away over time, but it would remain really soft.
Yeah.
But as a craft material, this one is going to work just great. And we're making a pennant sign today, kind of like those traditional triangular sports signs that you see. They're really popular, I think, these days, and there's companies like the Oxford Pennant Co. who've, I think, kind of highlighted them again, right? Brought them to the public eye with witty slogans and phrases and things. I have one at home. I know that Barry does too.
Oh, really? From that same company?
Yeah, from that same company.
So
they do some great stuff. And, we're not going to use their ideas. Obviously, they are far more intelligent and much more funny than we will ever be, I think, here.
But we got a cool design.
We have got a cool design, I didn't make it, neither did Bailey.
No, we didn't make it.
One of our incredible designers,
We've got
Mary.
a whole staff that makes us look good. Yes, Mary.
It's true, actually. Yeah, Mary to do this. And if you have watched one of our other streams about glass in the past, we were racking our brains for like a product name that we could use for some of these glass bottles that we engraved on. It was this one. Right?
Oh yeah, like glass bottles like this. And we were thinking it'd be great for like homemade hot sauce, right?
Absolutely. Could not think of a name for the life of us. Of course, because we were on the spot, right?
We
in
were
that
like,
moment.
Glow sauce!
Yeah, like, that's not going to work. But one of our copywriters came up with a great idea. Mary then took that, translated it into a design, so we're going to cut and print that today. I think this is going to be pretty quick. We've not really done this before ourselves, though, so let's try it together.
Let's see.
We've got 3 different layers. We've got a classic green in here. We've got the red and the white. Of course, you can pick any colors you like. And then what we did have to do is a little bit of experimentation for settings.
Right.
Now, every material's different, felt included, and different manufacturers probably use different blends of plastics or what have you. But we wow. That is
that is word?
I mean, I suppose for that moment in time it was, but yeah, we arove at 500 speed and 60 power for our particular material. Any faster than that, any slower than that, or any higher power, it kind of got a bit melty and we didn't like it. So that seemed to be kind of a sweet spot. So we can dive right in, and I'm not going to show you the full design, but this is kind of a glimpse into what we're looking at. We've got this main triangle that we're going to print, and I already have my settings baked into the software.
You can hardly see it, but we have a piece of dark or like forest green felt in there, emerald green. It's just kind of poorly lit because of the inside of the Glowforge right now.
Absolutely. My settings here, I just typed them into the manual settings here. So 500, I typed 60 into here, hit the plus sign, I can give it a name, and that's saved as felt right here. And I can click that, those settings get applied. This lights up. I'm going to use my set focus tool again because I don't know how thick this felt is. I'm just going to click in the middle of that. Glowforge head's going to zoom across. And actually the lights inside the Glowforge came on, so I think you can see that green felt just a little better now. Yeah.
I should mention, Nick always talks about set focus. He's the biggest advocate, biggest fan of set focus. And you should use it even on thinner than you think objects. So typically I think of it as, I'm putting in something that's thicker than a typical piece of proof grade, and I want to make sure the Glowforge gets it right. Thinner is also important too, because we're talking about hundredths of an inch here. In this particular project, we're not engraving, and so the results aren't as fussy, I guess. But yeah, it's important to do set focus anytime you're using something that the Glowforge cannot read.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, it also helps with accuracy too. Like there's so many times where I've put something in, haven't set the thickness correctly, printed it in the top left corner, and it went an inch to the right or something, and that's super annoying.
Is this going to be real fast because it's just cutting?
1 minute 18 seconds.
Okay, so it's already
pretty
blinking.
quick. So yeah, we're ready. Let's do it.
We'll go ahead and press the button. And I'm going to move around the front so we can watch it.
Apologies in advance for that
I
large
know, this
white
huge
globe.
white globe. Oh, we're way over here. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's.
So you can see that. Oh, look at how fast it's moving, though. Wow. Cutting is so satisfying.
It's real quick. Yeah, I'm thinking about like using this in a classroom or something. You know, how quickly you'd be able to get kids' designs out of the door with a material like this. And you know, in all honesty, you could use a knife to do this kind of thing too, a scalpel. But you know, accuracy would be far reduced. Kids and scalpels generally don't mix that well. At least I remember from my days at school that was the case. And if you wanted to print, let's say 100 of these, let's say you were making like a felt garland for an event or something.
Oh yeah.
You know, you could put the material in, get Glowforge printing them. Every single one's going to be exactly the same. And this looks like it's working great.
This is fun to watch. It's going so fast.
It's really dancing, isn't it?
It's going to be quite like a surprise reveal because I know what this says, and
it is hard to
and
tell.
I can hardly tell what it says. Yeah.
Nice.
I did pull some pictures from Instagram of other felt projects that folks have been doing, and I know you just mentioned like a garland. So.
Oh, is there one of those on?
Yeah. So okay. So this first one is.
Oh, this is clever.
It's one of those.
It's an anglerfish.
Yeah, like one of those monster fish.
Yeah, you need a 4-year-old at home.
There you go.
Then you would know.
Yeah, Finding Nemo. But what's really fun here is they've used conductive thread, so they've taken us a step further so that they can have the felt stuffy light up, which is really clever. This right here, a flag, kind of a pennant, like we're doing
just
today.
like what we're doing right now.
Like exactly. This one looks like it's for like a little kid's birthday party, but really cute.
Yeah.
So not exactly a garland, but this is you could use to cut a whole bunch of petals to create either these felt succulents or flowers.
That's nice, because if that was paper, that would get damaged really easily.
Oh, yeah.
Felt's a little bit more resistant.
It is. This one's like a bag, and they've kind of done multimedia here. The patch in the middle is engraved canvas, and then the bag is cut felt.
Wow.
And then this last one is like an engraved right on a felt hat that they've stuck directly in the Glowforge.
I wonder if they just smushed that and put it in there.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
Wow. And that looks like a natural felt too. You can see it's a little bit more brown where it engraves, but that's great.
Yeah, so people are definitely doing felt, experimenting with it. Fun things to do.
That's awesome.
And one of our 3 is done.
One of us, excellent. So I'm going to jump over to my software and I'm going to get the next part of the design ready.
Okay, and which color are we putting in next?
Next one, that's an excellent question. I need to remember. I think it's the red. Let's do the red. Yeah. We'll throw that just in there. Again, we don't have to be particularly accurate about where this goes, but I always kind of aim for the middle. Find that works best. Close that lid.
Okay, and these pieces are...
I think they just pop out, right?
Popping.
There's a few little threads.
There's just a few tiny little threads. Yeah, I'm just making sure I'm not pulling out anything that's not supposed to be pulled out. I think we're good though.
We've got some glue here. We can always put it back if we need to. All right, so this is updating. Here's our red. Now for the red, we're just doing basically a backing piece that's going to sit behind those cutouts that we made in the green, so we'll see the red shining through. And then this piece here is almost like a bit of bias binding that's going to go over the top to lock those 3 layers together. And I'm just moving these around, just like you might expect, drag and dropping, essentially. I'm going to hit my 3 dots, set focus, hit the middle, let Glowforge do its thing. And then at the same time, I'm going to come up to the top here while that's working, come down, and just make sure that my felt setting is checked there. And if we ever want to double check the numbers, we'll just click the little arrow, 560, that sounds about right. Now, I actually think that we could slow this down a little bit because I can hear the Glowforge just kind of rattling around inside the case, which would also mean slowing down the power too. But since we're working well, I don't want to mess with it too much. All right. I think we're almost ready. I just noticed here this is going a little to the left, so I'm just going to center it up. Move this one back down.
Here's a sneak peek of how this one's going.
It looks great.
Yeah.
So this, if that was, what was that, a minute 13, something like that?
Yeah.
So this is just a triangle. So this is, 20 seconds.
Okay.
Blink and you'll miss it kind of thing.
All right, ready?
That's so fun.
So do we use this bit or no?
I don't think we need that bit.
Oh, okay.
But keep it just in case.
It's cool. I'm like, can we layer it?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many fun things you can do. Okay.
So I think the red's going to come through here, then the white goes on top of this. This
Okay.
bit's kind of interesting.
I think that's supposed to come out.
Yeah. All right.
So fun. Okay,
So
so
while
this
that's
one
happening,
is pretty much done.
I'm going to move this across. While this is working, by the way, on the screen, I can be getting my next part of the design ready. And
You
here's
didn't
our
even have
text.
time though. You had
Well,
no.
it's true. Yeah, beat me to it. You're absolutely right.
Too quick for you.
Now you can probably see what this is saying now, so maybe that's a bit of a clue, but that's it's okay.
Okay. And
White
here's
goes
the
in.
white.
I love how rapid this is. This is like
Yes, this is fun. Okay.
yeah.
So
All right, so red. I think red goes underneath. This one goes on the top. Oh, that's looking great.
this is so cool.
We only had these small pieces of felt available, but I would love to make this on a roll of felt, so we could do a pass-through version that's maybe 2 feet long or something
So
like that.
is the idea that this goes here?
Yes, and I think that technically wraps around. To kind
Okay,
of,
so here it is without
yeah.
the last bit. Let's in progress. You can
Nice.
kind of see what it says.
All right, so there's our next material. Once again,
Okay.
set focus. It's going to whiz through. That's so good.
Yeah, this is fun. These would be great gifts. Wow.
Right? Yeah. I mean, if you're doing any kind of event, something like this, maybe you're promoting something, maybe you have a store or something like that. Even something as simple as like advertising a sale.
Yeah.
If you're like us and put way too much effort into things that don't need
I
the
could
effort,
see these
this would be
being
great.
like a trendy new merch item though. Like I love craft beer. I go to a lot of craft breweries when I travel, and I'm want to buy a hoodie at every one. But I could, or I like hoodies and like beanies. But
Yeah.
like I could do flags with the brand on it. These are neat. I
Yeah.
could see.
I mean, just thinking about the beanies, if you made a small version of this as a patch,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you could stitch that,
Same
glue it,
concept.
absolutely, on that same beanie.
Okay, how long is this last print?
1 minute, 10 seconds for this one.
Alrighty.
All right, let's give it a go. Oh my
Filling
goodness.
a LaCroix back here.
It happens to the best of us.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
All right, let's see if we can get some of this detail work on up close. Maybe.
And this is the text. Yeah, this was actually my bad. I should have put it towards the back rather than
Yeah,
the
we're all
top.
crammed down here in this
Yeah,
one, but you can kind of
that's-
see it working.
That is me.
Oh yeah, we've got a good shot right here.
Now, what's interesting about this, actually, looking at it, you can see that inner detail, the sort of, what would I describe it as? There's like a small H inside of the big H.
Yep.
You see how it's kind of melty?
Yes.
Well, for that there, we're basically putting too much power down.
Yeah.
So I would probably back off the power a little bit if I was to do multiples of these.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's working okay. As with any new material, keep an eye on it. Watch it very, very carefully. If anything seems to be happening, you can open the lid, it'll cancel the print straight away, and the print head will return home, so you can deal with anything that's going on.
Pop it up, or you can press the button. Well, actually, the pressing the button pauses it.
Yes.
Opening the lid cancels it.
Yeah, and pausing might be totally fine, to be honest. Maybe you just need to take a better look. You can pause it, or if you need to step away for any reason, somebody rings the doorbell, don't leave it printing in the background with an unknown material.
Yes.
Just hit the button. But there we have it. That looks all right, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's pull these out. Sorry.
Oh, they're gonna all fall.
That's okay. We got it. I think we got it. We'll see if I don't.
All right.
Now the challenge is going to be remembering or figuring out which of these pieces we need to keep. So cue the, like an 80s craft assembly montage
Yes.
kind of thing.
So how was your weekend, Nick?
It was very good, except for the terrible weather on Sunday.
I know. Yeah, what
I
is
was-
this? I don't know about where you all are, but we've been having a really super rainy and cold spring here in Washington. Like, yes, Seattle's a rainy area, but we should be getting more sun by the
yeah.
all of our gardens still think it's winter time. They're all sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was so excited on Sunday morning to see an article from the BBC talking about how it was going to be a blood moon.
Oh yeah, that was last night.
Yeah, and then of course
Too foggy to
it
see a
rained
thing.
and
Yeah.
couldn't see anything.
Yeah, too cloudy. I saw some photos. I believe it happened.
Oh yeah, but wouldn't it be nice, Like we even bribed my toddler and said, if you go to sleep in your own bed, which has been a problem recently, we will wake you up if we see the moon.
To see the special moon.
Yeah, and of course we didn't get to do that, so
He doesn't believe you.
he probably thinks we're all
Yeah,
liars.
yeah. Nice try. Next
all
time
his
there's
friends.
an astrological event, you'll. Okay, are we missing some
How did we?
45? Where's the T? Did we lose it?
It's still there. There it is. So yes, we did.
We lost
That
the
looks
T.
so good, though.
This is awesome.
I can't wait to glue this down properly.
Okay, so let us show you. Thanks for putting up with our little "How was your weekend?" bit.
Maybe in the edit we'll
Here
speed that
is-
up. I don't know.
Here's what this looks like before we glue it down.
just bump this. This one goes right here. There we go.
Ta-da!
So there we have it. 45-watt hot, which is the unofficial launch of the unofficial, unapproved, non-existent Glowforge hot sauce brand.
Our CEO doesn't know it yet.
No.
We're getting into hot sauce soon.
It's a subtle pivot from lasers, but yeah, we thought this was great.
Up close so you can see. I mean, these need to be glued down, but the detail is beautiful.
It's really, yeah, and it was
great.
I mean, that was
so quick. That was
took a designer to make this, but clearly, if you went with something a little bit more simple, you could knock this out exclusively in the software, in Microsoft PowerPoint, whatever you like. And what was that? In a total of, I would say, 4 minutes to print all of those pieces.
I mean, if you didn't want to get as fancy as Mary did with the layers, you could just print a solid flag and then print solid icons to glue on top. You don't need to even do the layering bit, but exactly, you could do the whole thing with Glowforge Premium. And the printing time of this was like what, a collective like 3 minutes or something.
Yeah.
So
and we printed one
cool.
at a time. If you were printing multiples of these, you could absolutely arrange them in the bed, you know, next to each other, and print a whole sheet of the letters.
Because it was all the same settings. It's not like it's red is one and then green is another.
That's
so
it.
Well, that was fun.
That was great. I'm
nice, quick little
super
project.
impressed with that. That's
now
so
I want
fun.
some hot sauce though. Between the food printing that we did and hot sauce, I think Nick and I are just hungry, and that's
we
going on
skip
here.
lunch today. So, but anyway, hope that was helpful. Hopefully that was interesting. We'll probably delve more into fabrics again in the future.
Yeah, I want to do denim maybe next.
I think denim would be really good. Yeah, and some of the synthetic materials are really cool too, because when you cut them with the laser, it like cauterizes the edges. It stops them from fraying. So I know a lot of technical backpack companies use lasers to cut their pieces out. So that's another cool one that we can explore.
All right.
Waxed cotton. Wax canvas, those two work really well too. So yeah,
leathers
tons
of course,
options.
but we've done some leather.
Yes.
But more is always good. All right, well thanks for joining, and we will see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.